Most people think the 90s were just about grunge music and dial-up internet. The 1990s produced some of the most bulletproof, undervalued motorcycles ever built. Don't sleep on these legends. Your wallet will thank you, and every mile will remind you why simple, honest motorcycles never go out of style. Today, we're counting down 10 legendary 90s motorcycles that aged like fine wine while their prices stayed stuck in the past. Now, before the ride begins, fuel up the channel with a like, and don't forget to smash that new hype button. Number 10. The Honda CBR600 F2 F3 from 1991 to 1998, the Everyman's Rocket. Ever heard of a bike that was called a crotch rocket but won't actually cripple you after 50 miles? Meet the Honda CBR600 F2 and F3. These weren't just sport bikes, they were the thinking rider's sport bike. The F2 ran from 1991 to 1994, followed by the F3 from 1995 to 1998. Both packed Honda's legendary liquid-cooled inline-4 engine with smooth power delivery that never tried to kill you. The F3 added ram air induction and slightly more power, but both shared that quintessential Honda DNA, bulletproof reliability. Yeah, here's a genius. While other manufacturers were building track weapons that doubled as torture devices, Honda created something different, fast enough for the track, civil enough for the street. The ergonomics were surprisingly comfortable for a sport bike. You could actually ride one of these things without your wrists filing a complaint. Why dealers can't move them? Well, they look dated next to modern supersports. No fancy electronics, no ride modes, just pure mechanical connection. But that's exactly why smart riders are hunting them down. The numbers. Clean examples trade for $2,000 to $4,500. That's supercar performance for used car money. Parts are everywhere. Maintenance is Honda simple, and depreciation has bottomed out. When you find one that's been well maintained, it'll run like new because Honda built these things to last forever. The CBR F series proves that you don't need the latest tech to have some serious fun. Sometimes the best innovation is perfecting what already works. Number 9. The Suzuki Bandit 600 and 1200 from 1995 to 2000, the sleeper that bites. You've probably walked right past one without even noticing. And that's a shame, because the Suzuki Bandit is one of the most underestimated motorcycles ever built. Available in 600cc and 1200cc flavors, the Bandit took a refreshingly honest approach. No fairings to crack, no complex electronics to fail, just robust air-oil-cooled engines wrapped in naked simplicity. The 1200 used a detuned GSX-R engine. Now that's some Superbike DNA in workhorse clothing. The 600 made respectable power, but the 1200 was a real monster. Torque for days, comfortable upright seating, and surprising versatility. Commuting? Check. Touring? Absolutely. Spirited canyon runs? You bet. Now here's what makes it special. That air-oil-cooled engine is virtually indestructible. No complex cooling systems, no radiator leaks, just simple engineering that works. The 1200's engine is famous among tuners. It'll handle serious modifications and just keep asking for some more. Why they sit in lots? Well, they're not flashy. No aggressive fairings, no digital wizardry, just honest motorcycling. But for riders who care more about riding than posing, that's exactly the point. Current market, $1,500 to $4,000 gets you into Bandit ownership. The 1200s command slightly more, but both offer incredible value. Parts are cheap, maintenance is straightforward, and reliability is legendary. The Bandit proves that sometimes the best bikes are the ones nobody's bragging about. Number 8. The Yamaha XJ900 Diversion from 1994 to 2003, the Unsung touring hero. Meet the motorcycle equivalent of that reliable friend who always shows up early and brings snacks. The Yamaha XJ900 Diversion doesn't shout for attention, but it'll quietly outperform bikes twice its price. This was Yamaha's answer to comfortable, reliable touring. Air-cooled inline-4 engine, decent fairing for weather protection. And here's the kicker, a shaft drive. That means no chain maintenance, no adjustments, no lubrication schedules. Just ride and enjoy. The genius of shaft drive. While other riders are cleaning chains and replacing sprockets, Diversion owners are racking up miles. It's the ultimate set-it-and-forget-it final drive system. Comfort is king. Upright seating position, decent wind protection, and ergonomics designed for real-world riding. This isn't a bike that punishes you for choosing practicality over flash. Why dealers struggle to move them? Well, honestly, they're not sexy. No aggressive styling, no track-bred credentials. They're just incredibly competent at eating miles without any drama. but that's exactly why smart touring riders are scooping them up. Market reality: $2,000 to $4,500 buys you into shaft-driven touring bliss. Insurance is reasonable, maintenance is minimal, and reliability is Yamaha solid. Find one that's been maintained, and it'll run forever. The XJ900 Diversion is proof that sometimes the best technology is the kind you never have to think about. Number 7. The Kawasaki ZX6R G1 G2 from 1998 to 1992. True sport bike thrills on a budget. Ready for some real sport bike DNA without the modern price tag? The late 90s Kawasaki ZX6R G1 and G2 models perfected the 600cc supersport formula just as the millennium was ending. These weren't beginner bikes pretending to be fast. They were legitimate track weapons that happened to be street legal. Liquid-cooled inline-4, high-revving engine, razor-sharp handling, and aggressive styling that still looks purposeful today. Here's what made them special. Kawasaki didn't compromise. While others were softening edges for mass appeal, the ZX6R stayed true to its sport bike mission: sharp handling, potent performance, and that distinctive Kawasaki edge that made every ride feel like an event. The riding experience. Now this is what a proper 600cc supersport feels like. It rewards skill, punishes laziness, and delivers thrills that modern bikes struggle to match despite their electronic aids. But here's why they're bargains now. True sport bikes have fallen out of favor. Riders want comfort, electronics, and practicality. But for those who remember what motorcycling used to feel like, these ZX6Rs are pure gold. Current pricing? About $2,500 to $5,000 gets you into legitimate supersport territory. Yes, they require more skill than modern bikes. Yes, they're less forgiving. But they're also more rewarding when you get it right. The late 90s ZX6R proves that sometimes the best technology is the kind that gets out of your way and lets you ride. Number 6. The Honda Nighthawk 750 from 1991 to 2003. The ultimate beginner classic. Looking for a bike that just works day after day, year after year? Meet the Honda Nighthawk 750, the embodiment of everything Honda does right. This is UJM perfection, universal Japanese motorcycle design at its finest. Air-cooled inline-4 engine, classic styling, and here's the beautiful part: hydraulic valve adjusters. That means no shim and bucket valve adjustments. Just change the oil and ride. The genius of simplicity. While other manufacturers were adding complexity, Honda perfected the basics. Shaft drive eliminates chain maintenance. Hydraulic valve adjusters eliminate the most common service headache. The result? A bike that asks for nothing but oil changes and smiles. It's perfect for new riders. Got low seat height, predictable power delivery, and forgiving handling. But don't mistake beginner-friendly for boring. The Nighthawk has enough performance to keep experienced riders happy while being gentle enough for newcomers. Now here's why dealers can't give them away. They're just simply not exciting on paper. No fancy tech, no aggressive styling, and no bragging rights. Just honest, dependable transportation. But that's exactly what makes them brilliant. Here's the market opportunity. $1,500 to $3,500 buys you Honda reliability in its purest form. Parts are everywhere, maintenance is minimal, and these bikes routinely hit 100,000 plus miles without major issues. The Nighthawk 750 proves that sometimes the best bike is the one you never have to think about. Number 5. The Triumph Trophy 900 from 1991 to 2001. British character without the drama. Want something different from the Japanese masses? The Triumph Trophy 900 offers distinctive British character without the traditional British headaches. When Triumph relaunched in the 1990s, the Trophy was their statement piece. A liquid-cooled 885cc inline triple engine that was smooth as silk and torquey as a diesel truck. Full fairing for serious weather protection, comfortable two-up seating, and a robust frame that could handle some serious touring. The triple advantage. That three-cylinder engine delivers character no inline-4 can match. Smooth power delivery, distinctive exhaust note, and torque that arrives early and sticks around. It's like writing a British gentleman's agreement with physics. Touring capability. Now this wasn't just a pretty face. The Trophy was built for serious mile eating. Comfortable ergonomics, excellent wind protection, and luggage capacity for some real-world adventures. But here's why they were overlooked. Being a less common model from the new Triumph era, they often get ignored in favor of Japanese alternatives. But that's exactly why smart buyers are hunting them down. Current values? Between $3,000 to $6,000 gets you into distinctive British touring. Parts availability is good, reliability is solid, and you'll never see another one at bike night. The Trophy 900 proves that you don't have to follow the crowd to get to where you're going. Number 4. The Suzuki SV650 first generation, from 1999 to 2002, the modern classic. Just sneaking into our 90s list is a 1999 Suzuki SV650, which was an instant game changer that's still changing games today. You had a liquid-cooled 645cc 90-degree V-twin engine in a lightweight aluminum trellis frame. The result? Pure motorcycling joy, punchy, characterful power delivery, agile handling, and a comfortable riding position that works for everything from commuting to track days. That V-twin magic. This isn't just about power, it's about character. That 90-degree V-twin delivers torque with personality. It sounds right, it feels right, and makes every ride special. The versatility champion. Beginner bike? Absolutely. Track day weapon? You bet. Daily commuter? Perfect. Weekend canyon carver? Ideal. The SV650 does everything well and nothing poorly. Now here's why dealers love them. They actually sell. But early first-generation models are still incredibly affordable for the fun and reliability that they deliver. Market reality, $2,500 to $4,500 for clean first-gen examples. Maintenance is simple, parts are everywhere, and the aftermarket support is massive. These bikes have earned their reputation the hard way, by being brilliant. The SV650 proves that sometimes perfection comes in simple packages. Number 3. The Kawasaki KLR650 first generation, from 1987 to 2007, the Cockroach of adventure. Meet the motorcycle equivalent of a cockroach, and we mean that as the highest compliment. The Kawasaki KLR650 is virtually indestructible. It goes anywhere and costs almost nothing to maintain. That liquid-cooled 651cc single-cylinder engine, a massive 6.1-gallon fuel tank, long-travel suspension, and simple mechanics that anyone can work on. This isn't just a dual sport, it's a lifestyle choice. The beauty of simplicity. You had no complex electronics, no fancy suspension, no delicate fairings, just proven technology that works everywhere from downtown traffic to desert trails. When adventure riders need something that absolutely will not quit on them, they choose the KLR. Legendary reliability. These bikes have crossed continents, survived wars, and outlasted their owners. The aftermarket support is massive, the community is passionate, and parts are everywhere. But here's why they're bargains. They're not pretty, they're not fast, and they're definitely not comfortable. But they're tougher than a $2 steak and more reliable than sunrise. Current pricing, $2,000 to $4,000 buys you into legendary adventure capability. Insurance is cheap, maintenance is basic, and these bikes hold their value because they never wear out. The KLR 650 proves that sometimes the best technology is the kind that just refuses to break. Number 2. The Yamaha FZ1 first generation, from 2001 to 2005, the Stealth Superbike. Now here's a secret the sport bike world doesn't want you to know. The first generation Yamaha FZ1 packs a detuned and returned R1 engine in a comfortable, practical package. Now that's superbike power with standard bike comfort. A liquid-cooled 998cc inline-4 makes some serious horsepower, but delivered in a way that won't kill you. Comfortable upright seating, and decent wind protection from the half fairing, and surprisingly good handling for its size. Here's the R1 connection. This isn't just marketing speak. The FZ1's engine shares DNA with Yamaha's flagship Superbike, but it's been civilized for real-world use. More mid-range torque, smoother power delivery, but still capable of some serious performance when you ask for it. Stealth performance. It looks like a standard bike, rides like a standard bike, but has the heart of a superbike. Perfect for riders who want serious performance without the aggressive ergonomics. Why they're undervalued? Well, they're not flashy enough for sport bike riders, not comfortable enough for touring riders. They fall between categories, which keeps prices low. Market opportunity. $3,000 to $6,000 gets you R1-derived performance in a practical package. Maintenance is reasonable, reliability is excellent, and performance is addictive. The FZ1 proves that sometimes the best superbike is the one that doesn't look like one. And number 1. The Honda Shadow series, the 1990s models. The dependable cruiser for every budget. Now here's the truth most cruiser riders won't admit. The Honda Shadow is more reliable than bikes costing 3 times as much, more comfortable than most touring bikes, and costs less than most people's monthly car payment. Available in 600cc, 750cc, and 1100cc displacements throughout the 90s, the Shadow line dominated the cruiser market for one simple reason. They just work. Liquid-cooled V-twin engines, low seat heights, comfortable cruiser ergonomics, and Honda's legendary reliability. The Shadow advantage. While Harley riders are wrenching, Shadow riders are riding. These bikes require minimal maintenance, run for incredibly high mileage, and start every time you hit the button. Chain or shaft drive, depending on the model, but both are bulletproof. Model variety: the VLX600 for beginners, the VT750 Ace for the sweet spot, and the Ace 1100 for some serious cruising. Each offers different flavors of the same formula: Japanese dependability in American cruiser clothing. Now here's why dealers love them. They actually sell, hold their value, and never come back with problems. But their ubiquity means plenty of affordable options on the used market. The numbers: $1,500 to $5,000 depending on displacement and condition. Insurance is reasonable, maintenance is minimal, and these bikes routinely hit 80,000 plus miles without major issues. Perfect for everyone. New riders love the low seat height and forgiving power. Experienced riders appreciate the reliability and comfort. Budget-conscious riders love the low cost in ownership. The Honda Shadow proves that sometimes the best bike is the one that just gets out of your way and lets you enjoy the ride. Now here's the bottom line. These aren't just motorcycles. They're time machines that transport you back to when riding was about the journey, not the destination. When bikes had personality baked into every component, not programmed into a computer chip. Now that glowing red thing on your screen? Yeah, that's the subscribe button. Hit it if you want more bikes that deliver maximum soul for minimum drama. Still got fuel in the tank? Click the next video right here to keep the ride going.